It's almost impossible to find a carmaker that doesn't sprinkle at least some level of autonomy into their vehicles. What used to feel like futuristic technology only a decade ago has now become a standard checklist item in most new models. Automakers wrap these features into polished packages with names designed to sound sleek and advanced, and for Nissan, that name is ProPILOT. If you've been following the brand's journey, you'll know this system has been around for nearly a decade now. When it first appeared back in 2016, it was a modest attempt at introducing drivers to semi-autonomous features. The original ProPILOT didn't do much beyond allowing cars to handle single-lane driving on highways, keeping a steady distance from the car ahead, and maintaining lane position. At the time, this was enough to impress and reassure people that the future of driving was slowly but surely arriving. 3 years later, in 2019, Nissan raised the bar with ProPILOT 2.0. This upgraded version brought more intelligence and capability to the table. Suddenly, the system wasn't just a simple lane-keeping assistant. It could handle lane changes, anticipate road conditions, and even offer route assistance. This evolution made drivers feel like their cars were genuinely thinking ahead, reacting in ways that felt more natural and closer to human decision-making. Yet even with those enhancements, Nissan knew the journey toward full autonomy was far from complete. The real leap, the one that could redefine how people view driving in bustling city environments, was still ahead. That leap is now shaping up to become ProPILOT 3.0, set to make its debut in 2027. What makes the next version so significant is its promise to handle the chaos of city centers. Highways are relatively predictable. Cars generally move in the same direction at similar speeds. Cities, on the other hand, are an entirely different beast. Pedestrians, cyclists, delivery scooters, buses pulling in and out of stops, unpredictable traffic lights. Every block is a constantly shifting puzzle. For a car to move through that safely without relying on human input requires a level of perception and processing power that even the most advanced systems today still struggle with. And yet, Nissan is confident that its upcoming ProPILOT suite will deliver exactly that. For reasons only Nissan truly knows, the company decided not to wait until 2027 to share a sneak peek. Instead, it revealed what's coming now, offering a glimpse into how the new technology will work. The most obvious changes are in the hardware. The next-generation ProPILOT setup will feature a total of 11 cameras, 5 radar sensors, and a single LiDAR unit perched on the roof. That LiDAR is part of what Nissan calls its ground truth perception technology, and it's meant to give the car eyes that see farther and clearer than cameras can manage. Cameras, while great during the day, have their limits in low-light conditions. LiDAR, on the other hand, can map objects in complete darkness, making it ideal for night driving or spotting hazards that are too far away for a standard camera to catch. But hardware is just one piece of the puzzle. The real magic comes from the software, and this is where Nissan's collaboration with a company called Wave comes into play. Wave has developed artificial intelligence that doesn't simply collect and process raw data from cameras and sensors, but interprets it in a way that mimics how humans understand their surroundings. Instead of reacting to one object at a time, a pedestrian stepping into the road, a cyclist swerving, a car braking suddenly, the AI looks at the entire scene. It understands how all the moving pieces relate to one another, predicting how situations might evolve rather than just scrambling to respond in the moment. This makes the system feel less robotic and more human-like in its decision-making. What Nissan describes is an AI that doesn't just see the world, but understands it. It can anticipate what will happen next and decide how its own actions might influence the outcome. The company says its high-speed processing power allows it to react instantly to sudden changes, ensuring safety in real time. The inspiration behind it is rooted in the way humans learn and navigate. We don't drive by analyzing one car or one pedestrian at a time. Instead, we build a sense of the whole scene, constantly predicting where everything is headed and adjusting smoothly. Nissan's upcoming AI aims to do the same, creating a driving experience that feels intuitive rather than mechanical. Although the launch is still 2 years away, Nissan isn't waiting until then to prove the system works. It has already begun testing the next-generation ProPILOT on the streets of Tokyo, using prototype vehicles based on the Ariya electric SUV. The company hasn't shared too many details about what these demonstrations involved. No timelines, no specific challenges tackled, no granular data on results. Still, the way Nissan talks about these tests gives the impression that things went smoothly and that the technology handled itself as expected in the complex environment of a major city. It's important to note that when ProPILOT 3.0 does arrive in 2027, it won't instantly be available across the globe. Nissan will likely roll it out selectively, starting with domestic markets in Japan before considering expansion elsewhere. This careful approach makes sense, given how varied city infrastructures and traffic behaviors can be from country to country. What works in Tokyo might need significant adjustments before it can function seamlessly in cities like New York, London, or Mumbai. Still, the direction is clear. Nissan is not just refining driver assistance technology, it is moving steadily toward vehicles that can genuinely drive themselves, at least in certain environments. And while many automakers are racing to do the same, Nissan's approach of combining robust hardware with human-inspired AI interpretation sets it apart. It's not just about throwing sensors at a car and hoping software can keep up. It's about building a system that feels natural, safe, and adaptable to the unpredictable reality of real-world roads. The story of ProPILOT is, in many ways, a story of how quickly our expectations as drivers are changing. Back in 2016, letting go of the wheel on a highway for even a few seconds felt revolutionary. Today, we expect our cars to handle lane changes, manage traffic jams, and even park themselves without breaking a sweat. By 2027, it seems we'll be looking at cars that can handle the unpredictable dance of city life while we sit back and relax. Whether that means catching up on messages, sipping coffee, or just enjoying the ride, the future Nissan envisions is one where driving becomes less about constant attention and more about trust in the technology beneath you. Of course, challenges remain. Regulations will play a big role in how quickly systems like ProPILOT 3.0 can expand beyond Japan. Different countries have different laws about self-driving technology, and public trust will need to catch up with the technology itself. People will want reassurance that these systems are safe, reliable, and capable of protecting not only the passengers inside the car, but also everyone sharing the road with them. Nissan's early testing and demonstrations are an important step in building that confidence, but large-scale adoption will take time and proof. Looking back, it's striking how fast things have progressed. In less than a decade, Nissan went from simple lane centering to creating cars that could soon navigate city streets on their own. That kind of leap shows just how much effort and innovation is going into making autonomous driving a reality. And while 2027 might still feel like a distant date, in the automotive world, it's just around the corner. Before we know it, we could be stepping into cars that drive themselves through the heart of crowded urban centers, guided not just by sensors, but by an intelligence that sees and understands the bigger picture. What makes this journey even more exciting is that it's not happening in isolation. Nissan isn't alone. Other automakers are pushing forward with their own solutions, each with different philosophies and technological approaches. Yet the core idea remains the same: to create cars that make driving safer, easier, and ultimately optional. ProPILOT 3.0 is Nissan's vision of that future, and from what we've seen so far, it's shaping up to be a milestone moment in the evolution of mobility. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Also, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future uploads. If you know someone who would enjoy this video as much as you did, share it with them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.